Rolling.
Hi, Daddy. I'm here in Yusuf's farm. I miss you every day. I think about you. I pray for you. And I know you're watching all of us. So today I got specially dressed up because it's been locked down and I haven't dressed up or I haven't put an inch of makeup. But as you can see, I have all my white hair coming, so aging gracefully. Love you, and I know it wouldn't have made a difference to you if I got dressed up, but that's only for you, okay? So, where do I start about telling stories about you? So many stories, so many things you've done, but I know one story that will always be etched in my memory is you talking to everybody, almost everybody you used to meet, and telling them that how your three girls are your universe. And I don't know, personally, I love hearing that story. Every time I used to say it, my girls are my universe. And, used to feel like, oh, that's one constant that hasn't changed in your life. That's good. That's good to know. But apart from that, and apart from the million stories about you, and apart from the fact that I miss your stinking socks, which is so funny, because the irony is that your grandson has the same smell in his socks, if he wears socks, that is, and it just makes me laugh. It doesn't make me repulsive anymore, I guess. But I wanted to be here on the 22nd and say a few words because you always celebrated life, and I know you always told me in our, how many ever conversations we've sat together and had, which is also a privilege. So not for a second that I regret anything that has happened with you, in your life, with me, with you. And I don't judge you. I don't hold anything against you. Because none of us planned it. And as you would say, it didn't go as planned, but that's okay. So, that's okay. Today we are here to tell you about one story that is very close to my heart. And of course, Daddy, you would remember this time that is only between me and you. But just wanted to share it with you guys too. It's about a very special day that I got to spend with my father at the age of 19. And I think that special day changed the course of my life, changed the course of maybe his life also in a way, because we got to spend time together doing something that neither one of us would have imagined ourselves doing together. That is being in the open, sitting under a tree, and just being together. So I'm going to show you something, Daddy. I don't know if you remember this, but this is what I wrote, Daddy and me, on the envelope of the photograph that I'm going to show you guys. It's me when I'm 19 with Dad. That's Dad and me on these electric motorbikes, similar like the TVS. And this was shot in Lal Bagh. It's a very, very special picture to me and a memory that I'll take forever with me everywhere. And that's something that cannot be, erased from my memory. So this is Dad and me, and I've written something in the back, which I'll show you guys. But basically it says 18 June 2007, Daddy and me in Lal Bagh. So why I want to show you this picture is this memory is so alive in my head, like it just happened yesterday. This was the time that I had to tell Dad, basically break it out to him, that I think my life is going to change, and I want to be with somebody, and I want to pursue this. And what do you think? So I took him to Lal Bagh at 7:30 in the morning, and I don't ask me how I convinced him, because that's the part I don't really remember. But I know that I asked him to be ready at 7 in the morning, and I wanted to take him somewhere special. So I had to take him somewhere where he couldn't get a drink, so he couldn't get angry, especially. And he agreed. So I took him to Lal Bagh, and we sat under a tree, and he was still, having his beedies in a public park, but he didn't care, obviously. And we spoke. We spoke for good time, and I told him about how I wanted my life to go, or where I saw myself. And I know something in his head clicked, and he was like, oh, okay, and I can see you doing that, and we had such a good talk that I remember thinking that, wow, it was so easy to talk to you, and I don't know why I haven't been doing this, and why I've been so fearful of your judgments, or it just seemed to me like I was wasting my time not talking to you, and well, maybe you showed that confidence in me, and I had faith in you, so we spoke, and this came out of it. This picture, actually, we were just walking after our conversation, and he saw these bikes, and he said, oh, why do you want to go for a bike ride? And I hadn't ever thought of Dad sitting on an electric bike and wanting to take a ride with me voluntarily. And he did. And then he saw this guy, and he said, you want to take a picture? And he was like, sir, we'll take a picture, 50 rupees or something like that. And he said, oh, okay, yeah, I want to take a picture. And he got this picture done, and I kept it from that day. It's because you seriously taught me. Okay, I'm not going to cry because I put on makeup and I don't want to ruin it, and I know he would not want me to ruin it. But okay, just a second. He told me that he actually taught me that you can do anything, and you must take chances, and you must take risks in your life. Sometimes the risk will pay, sometimes the risk will not pay. But be prepared for the consequences, and never bow down in failure. So these are things that I think I do try to, follow. Because you see this picture? This is a man who's taking a chance, doing things that he'd never done before, and totally being free and owning it, So I had to show you guys this picture, because this story and this picture will be with me, because he really taught me that I must take a chance. If it is love, if it is money, if it is life, I think we all should take that chance and be more brave, because life is too short. You don't get to spend as much as time as you thought with your loved ones. And Daddy spending time with me in Lal Bagh will be very, very special for me. And I'm very lucky that I got to spend so much time with him, and he got to see my son, see his grandson, hold him. That I know I'm very lucky and grateful for. And I think he's also should be like, Daddy, I didn't get you a watch, but I gave you a grandson, okay? That's what I kept telling myself. And now you have two. You have amazing son-in-laws. You have a beautiful family who misses you, Dad. So I know you're happy. I know. And just wanted to say thank you for really surprising me over the years and doing things that none of us could expect. So there are things like, trying out new foods, eating salad, going for a walk, catching an auto or a train, so many things that you tried new, and I'm so glad you did, because you taught us all that life doesn't stop. You must go on. The show always must go on. And I love you, Daddy. And I miss you. Chotu misses Apja. Moon misses Dad. But we know you're here with us. Okay? So don't worry. Take care of everybody who needs you. And be there with everybody who misses you. Give them strength. Guide us. Tell us if we go wrong. Just whisper in our ear like a secret. Okay? We'll be listening. I love you. Yours, Chutki. You'll see some really cool things Yusuf's done to give his Aperture tribute. And watch it just for a laugh. And hope Aperture likes it. But I liked it and I had a laugh, so I know he'll like it too. Love you. Love you guys.
Hi Aperture, I love you. I'll always be your Chotu.
How does Aperture put his pants, Yusuf? And how does he walk around like that with his pants up?
A very fond memory of Jayapcha that I keep in close to my heart is back in when I was in college, and he used to come very often into the outhouse. Since I used to go into the outhouse a lot, he used to come there to the outhouse just to talk to me once in a while, and then he just sits down there and has a smoke, and then we end up talking about the most random stuff. But I think that was something that I fondly remember about Jayapcha, how he used to take some time out and then come and see me in the outhouse. Instead of me actually going and sitting out there, he used to come to the outhouse as opposed to anything else. What about you, JTG?
For me, Jayapcha used to always call me baby girl, and that used to be a very nice thing to hear. And he used to always be interested in knowing what is happening with me every day. And he'll always tell me how to be independent, and he'll always tell me at the same time, listen to your parents. But if you don't listen to your parents, then you have no other choice. So his advices were the best, always the best. He used to give a lot of advices before we all started our new adventures on different various habits. So that was also one of the good things. And the way he has fun, the way he enjoys his music, the way he parties, and just Jayapcha in whole. He was always like a father. Oh, his hugging, his sleeping and hugging, how much he used to just curl up and just go to sleep like that. It was nice, very comfortable. And yeah, these are all most of the memories that I miss for Jayapcha. And
Okay,
I miss you.
The best memory us kids had of Jayapcha was sitting in the veranda in retreat and him telling us stories about Delhi and how he used to chill in college. But the fondest memory I had of Jayapcha was him taking me on the bike around Goa and him telling me the places he used to go and where his friends and all used to stay. Cheers, Jayapcha.
So, how do you like to sleep with Mama in the night?
I like to cat a fairy mama.
Hi, Georges. So, the very first time I got inducted into your family was through the three daughters, or let's call them the gorgeous Georges. Very shortly after meeting them, a few weeks, probably a few months after, I realized that these three women were cut from a very, very special fabric. Shortly after, probably a year and a half after, I met the family, the big family, the big family, and realized that, well, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. I think the deepest memory ingrained for me of Big Papa George, other than the smell of his beaties and the slow beat of his bullet, was how to unapologetically live your life by any means necessary. And this is something that has really stuck with me and is always at the back of my mind and helps me live my best life till date.
I think my main memories of Jayachapcha are all from sitting out late in retreat veranda, like after everybody else fell asleep, and we'd sit and talk for like hours at a time. It was crazy. Like he had this like vibe about him where you talk to him for like 20 minutes and then you want to tell him all your secrets. Like I would tell him everything. Like everything I would tell him, and he wasn't judgmental, and he wouldn't be like, oh, this is what you should have done, what's wrong with you, etc. He'd sit, he'd listen, and then he'd laugh about it probably, and then he'd give me some advice, or he'd tell me what to do next time, it was awesome. Like he had such a good vibe about him. Like he was an amazing person. I think my earliest memory, like from my childhood all the way back in Doha, I think from Doha only. I think I was in first standard or second standard, and I remember I came back home and I was going to my study room like in the back, and Jayachapcha like jumped out from behind the fridge and scared the crap out of me. I still remember it so clearly, and he gave me some chocolate, and I remember because that was the first time that I ever had Kinder Bueno, like the bars. Yeah, it's like those like my main distinct memories, like the super like vivid in my head. Anyway, cheers.
Favorite memory of Bade Papa would be me calling him Ponytail Bade Papa all through my childhood, because I never knew his name at all until 6th grade, and he wouldn't care about me calling him that.
Alright, keeping it short and sweet. Now, the fondest memory which I have of like Jayachapcha right now is like goes back to when I was in school. So I think it was the 10th or 11th grade. Like my school's an afternoon shift, so I come back home and say like around 6:30 in the evening. And by that time, dad and mom, they go for the evening walk at say at 9 o'clock. So I'm stuck at home after school all alone. At 7 p.m. sharp, the doorbell rings and in comes a sharply dressed man, his beautiful suit, the Mont Blanc pen and his Cartier watch, comes in, takes a seat at the end of the dining table, and the first thing he does is, what do you say? He's like, Sumit, how's your day? How's school? How's your friends? Sees if everything else is okay, and if I have some problems, he'll talk to you and make sure that you leave with a smile on your face and your moods are lifted. That's like something that will stay on with me for a very long time, and that's a lesson we can all take. Like as we're all growing old and when we have our own families, that's one lesson we can take and just use it in our lives. Talking to people and making sure they're happy and smiling is like a big lesson that he had taught us, right? Especially taught me. And I just want to say thank you for the Jayachapcha, and thank you for being there at any time I wanted. Thank you for always putting a smile on anyone's face. Thank you for spreading your awesomeness and jovial cheer everywhere. And we surely miss that. And just want to say we love you a lot. We miss you. And so that's my story of Jayachapcha. All right, cheers. We love you, Jayachapcha. Cheers, Jayachapcha. Here's to you.
Cheers, Jayachapcha. I was always proud to have Jayachapcha as my godfather and the coolest of all uncles who all my friends know of. And one of the memories that come up when I think of him, fun memory, was when I went to visit him in Goa and got to spend time with him in Goa. We were chilling in one of the shacks somewhere there, and he saw that I was getting bored, or I don't know, something. And he was just sitting next to me, and he just randomly asked me, Johnny, you want to do something? Like what? You want to rate these girls over here? And I was like, what? Okay. And then we spent our day rating random foreigners in bikinis over there. Yeah.
Cheers, Jayapcha. Miss you. Love you.
I think my fondest memory of Uncle was when that time we had a family get together at JBS, and one night everyone went to sleep, and me and Uncle sat up and we kept having drinks the whole night. It wasn't planned to be drinks the whole night. One beer turned into another beer, and every time I finished a beer, he said, "Oh, I think you're going to need company for the next one." And I kept having one, and before we knew it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. Best part was I think that's the first time he stayed at JBS also, and he had no clue about it. It was a great blackout session. Cheers.
So many memories with Jain uncle, but one particular memory I will never forget is I think we were there for Raju uncle's wedding, and obviously we were only allowed to drink under supervision of my cousin sisters and Jain uncle. So landed up drinking, and obviously we had a great night. We were doing Mardala and all on the floor, I remember, and our uncle was obviously egging us on. I must have got so sozzled that night that I got up in the middle of the night, maybe from my own bedroom, went to the loo and made a complete mess that Ruby auntie had to clean in the morning. And then landed up, the next thing I remember is that I've woken up and uncle and me are nicely cuddling and sleeping on his bed, because I had no recollection of this. But I've gone and slept with Jain uncle, and he's so sweetly. And then I woke up and I was like, "Uncle, I'm so embarrassed." And you know how uncle is. He's like, "No, ma, don't worry. Everything is okay." He's like, "You didn't know what you were doing last night." So obviously that was one memory that I'll never forget. Obviously the other one is when uncle used to keep pulling down our pants when we were kids. So that also I will never forget. There are so many memories with uncle. And one more thing is that surprisingly, I don't think I've had these kind of conversations when I was younger with my own parents, but I used to have it with uncle and maybe Ruby auntie or Lalita auntie. And I remember uncle telling me, he's told me a lot of things, but I remember him once very categorically saying that no matter what happens, you must always look out for yourself. And I think I have kept that in mind. And we miss you and we love you. You're always with us. Cheers.
Hi Kutas, Roshu, Rashmi, Nannu, miss you Dad. Sorry I couldn't do this earlier, but I'm really humbled to say a few things about Dad and how much he means to me and our family. Growing up, I didn't see much of Jain uncle. I remember seeing pictures from Delhi and Dubai. The first time I recall seeing him was in Diamond District, back at the B block, and then we really got close in 2003 and 04 at Raj uncle's wedding in Hyderabad, when he challenged me to get into a Mercedes, and I probably was so buzzed that I did it. And we had so much fun that night at the guest house, and I remember that's probably the tripping point where we got so close as cousins and as a family. And from that day onwards, Bangalore, Goa, Trivandrum, all the beautiful days where we had so much fun together, the late night drinkings, be it at home, be it in a bar, and I would never ever forget that. And I know that I've heard people say uncle lived life on his own terms. He was a man of principles. Some people said he was selfish. Some people said he was rigid. More than that, despite what others said, he was like a father to me, because me and my dad had a very rocky relationship, and I had that, and last 15 years was a blessing, because he helped me deal with it and helped me find inner peace about work in my relationship with my dad, who's also no longer here. And I wish I could say so many things tattoo at his face. Uncle. Well, his love for his rum and how he used to walk around with his beaties and how bummed he was with his lighter when he lost it at Philip's wedding. The ridiculous things we did as uncle and nephew, hiding your head in the kitchen cabinet and freaking out Amici at night in Bangalore, to the crazy things with the rubber band at the clubs. And I remember sitting at the beach in Goa where he was trying to talk to me about my dad, and those are the things I know that he cares for his family, and he doesn't show it in the conventional way that people want us to show affection, but he's probably one of the most loving people I've seen. And I wish he was there to see the next generation that's playing around us. But I'm pretty sure Dad would have only wanted it one way. Short period here. Make others happy. At the same time, don't forget, you gotta be happy and smiling. And I'm pretty sure he is having his rum and Red Bull and saying cheers with his beanie in heaven with Dad. And hope to join him one day. And well, I'm at work, so cheers. And I love you guys. I know you probably are hurting 10 times more than us. But remember, we have each other. We might be far away physically, but you're always close in our hearts. Love you and take care. Peace.
Start.
So the fondest memories of Uncle have been growing up. I think he's one of the first few people that we actually as an adult went and chilled with, and used to take us to clubs and stuff like that, and always sit at the bar. It was a good time. We enjoyed the whole night away. Cheers.
Hello, Jai and Uncle. I remember the last time we met, you had given us, Noy and I, really good advice. You were also explaining how you had chosen the location of the hotel, and we had an amazing evening together, me and the entire family. I also, growing up, I remember your Contessa, obviously. It was my favorite car growing up. And I also remember how you used to dress up all the time when you were working in the corporate world. And then I also remember how you boldly went after what you really wanted to do in life, and you lived life on your own terms. And I wish to do exactly the same. I love to imbibe those values in me as well. So on that note, I salute you, Uncle, and cheers in heaven at 11 in the morning.
You're so smart, okay?
Again, one more.
Don't think you're so smart, okay?
Okay, repeat after me, Yusuf.
Yes.
Betty bought some butter,
Betty bought some butter,
but the butter Betty bought was bitter.
but the butter Betty bought was bitter.
So Betty bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better.
So Betty bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better.
Hi Dadu, miss you. It's been a long time since we've seen each other face to face. I'm not sure which memory I should share with you. I've written a letter to you to get my thoughts out.
today I thought I'll just keep it short. Sing a song that you really used to like and that I still don't know all the words to, so don't scream at me. And also I'll play a song on the guitar, which is completely different song from what you like. But I love you, and yeah, so here's the song. Smile, an everlasting smile. A smile can bring you close to me. Don't ever let me find you wrong, 'cause that'll bring a tear to me. This world has lost its glory. Let's start a brand new story now, my love. You think that I don't even mean a single word I say. It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away. Love you. Cheers, Jabja. Cheers, Dadu. Birds are going crazy.